Here is the English translation of your article. The Mystery of the Ninth Legion, Rome's Vanished Army. In human history, there are mysteries that remain unsolved even after 2,000 years. One of the most fascinating concerns the fate of the legendary Ninth Legion, Legio IX Hispana. This military unit served Rome for more than a century and a half, fought in some of the most famous campaigns of the ancient world, survived rebellions, wars, and political upheavals. Then, suddenly, it disappeared. It was not officially recorded as destroyed. It was not documented as disbanded. It left behind no clear account of its downfall. It simply vanished from history. That is why the fate of the Ninth Legion continues to captivate historians, archaeologists, and lovers of ancient mysteries. The birth of a legend. The history of the Ninth Legion begins during the Roman Republic. Scholars believe the legion was formed in the 1st century BC and soon came under the command of Julius Caesar. Alongside Caesar, its soldiers participated in the conquest of Gaul and the Roman Civil War. The legion earned a reputation as a resilient and dependable force. It fought in numerous campaigns across what are now France, Spain, and Germany. Later, it received the honorary title Hispana, Spanish. After the rise of the Roman Empire, the legion remained active. It survived changes of emperors and continued to be one of Rome's most experienced military units. Britain, the edge of the known world. In AD 43, Emperor Claudius launched the conquest of Britain. To the Romans, Britain was almost the edge of the known world, a land of mists, dense forests, and fierce tribal warriors. The Ninth Legion was sent there. For decades, its soldiers built roads, forts, and towns. They participated in campaigns across northern Britain and constantly faced resistance from local tribes. Their greatest challenge came during the famous rebellion of Queen Boudica in AD 60 to 61. When British tribes rose against Roman rule, the Ninth Legion suffered devastating losses. A large portion of its infantry was annihilated in battle. Yet the legion survived and was rebuilt. Afterward, it continued serving in northern Britain. The Last Trace. The most intriguing chapter of the story begins in the early 2nd century. In the city of York, known to the Romans as Eboracum, archaeologists discovered an inscription dating to around AD 108. The inscription mentions the Ninth Legion. It is the last undisputed evidence of the legion's presence in Britain. After that, silence. Roman records no longer reveal what happened to thousands of soldiers. No victorious report, no record of disbandment, no account of defeat, only emptiness. Theory 1. Destruction in the mists of Scotland. For many years, this was considered the leading explanation. According to the theory, the legion marched deep into northern Britain to suppress a rebellion among the tribes of Caledonia. There, disaster awaited. Amid dense forests, mountains, and treacherous bogs, Roman forces may have fallen into a devastating ambush. The local warriors knew the terrain perfectly. They avoided open battle, striking suddenly before disappearing into the wilderness. Some 19th century historians propose that the entire legion was wiped out during one such campaign. The idea later became extremely popular through novels, films, and television dramas. The story was irresistible. 5,000 legionaries march north. The mists swallow them whole. None return. The problem is simple. There is no direct evidence. Archaeologists have found no mass graves, no battlefield remains, and no military camps proving the destruction of such a large force. The emperor who built a wall. Supporters of the Scottish theory point to an interesting fact. In AD 122, Emperor Hadrian visited Britain. Soon afterward, construction began on the famous Hadrian's Wall. Some historians believe the wall may have been a response to a major military crisis in the north. Rome may have suffered severe losses, possibly including the Ninth Legion, and decided to abandon further expansion into Scotland. Yet this remains speculation. No surviving source explicitly connects the wall to the fate of the legion. A shocking discovery in the Netherlands. In the late 20th century, archaeologists made a discovery that transformed the debate. Near the modern Dutch city of Nijmegen, artifacts bearing the inscription LEGHISP9 were uncovered. These included stamped building materials and military objects. The dating of the finds suggested they may belong to a period after the legion supposedly disappeared from Britain. This created a major problem for the traditional theory. If the Ninth Legion existed in the Netherlands after leaving Britain, then it could not have been destroyed in Scotland. Unless, of course, the artifacts belonged only to a detached unit, rather than the entire legion. The debate continues to this day. However, the Dutch discoveries weakened the once dominant Scottish destruction theory considerably. Theory 2. Death in the East. If the legion survived Britain, where did it go? Some historians believe it was transferred to Rome's eastern frontier. There, the empire fought a long series of brutal wars against the powerful Parthian Empire. The eastern campaigns were among the deadliest in Roman history. Entire armies could vanish in deserts, mountains, and distant provinces. According to this theory, the Ninth Legion was destroyed somewhere in Armenia or Mesopotamia during one of these conflicts. The problem remains the same. No definitive evidence has been found, no inscriptions, no military diplomas, no legionary camps, only possibilities. Theory 3. The Jewish Revolt. Another theory links the legion to one of Rome's bloodiest conflicts, the Bar Kokhba revolt in Judea between AD 132 and 136. This uprising became one of the most expensive and destructive wars ever fought by the Roman Empire. Roman casualties were enormous. Some scholars suggest that the Ninth Legion may have been destroyed during the campaign. Yet once again, proof is lacking. Ancient sources mention other legions involved in crushing the revolt, but none directly connect the Ninth Legion to the conflict. Why the Roman silence? Perhaps the greatest mystery is not where the legion disappeared. It is why Roman writers said so little about it. The Romans carefully documented their victories. They celebrated military success with monuments, inscriptions, and public ceremonies. Even many defeats are well known to us today. Yet the fate of the Ninth Legion seems almost deliberately erased. Some historians believe the legion suffered such a catastrophic defeat that Roman authorities chose not to publicize it. The destruction of an entire legion was more than a military disaster. It was a political humiliation. What do modern historians think? Today, most scholars approach the mystery with caution. The most likely explanation is that the legion did not vanish overnight. Instead, it may have been transferred from Britain to continental Europe, perhaps later serving on Rome's eastern frontiers. Over time, it may have suffered heavy losses, been reorganized, merged with other units, or ultimately destroyed in a conflict that went poorly documented. This theory lacks the dramatic appeal of thousands of soldiers disappearing forever into the Scottish mist. But it fits the available archaeological evidence more closely. A mystery that survived 2 millennia. And yet the mystery endures. Every new archaeological discovery has the potential to change our understanding. One inscription, one forgotten military diploma, one buried fortress. Any of these could finally reveal what happened to the Ninth Legion. Until then, Legio 9 Hispana remains one of the greatest unsolved mysteries of the ancient world. A story of thousands of professional soldiers who served the most powerful empire of their age, and then disappeared so completely that history itself seems to have lost track of them. Perhaps somewhere beneath the soil of Britain, the deserts of the East, or the ruins of a forgotten Roman fort lies the answer, waiting to be found.